Hello, Hearties. Welcome to the Hearties Hotline, your connection to Hope Valley. I am Cammie, the hooked Heartie.
And I am Sarah, the Hawkeyed Hardy, and we are here today with a very special guest.
You may know him as a neighbor, a dad, a husband, a victim, or a murderer, but lately we have come to know him as hashtag Meany Mounty. Please welcome Mr. David James Lewis. Hi, David.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Speaking of dates, we see that you've got a birthday coming up soon. So
yeah, I'm a Leo baby. Absolutely.
Yep, Leo baby right here. I'm the last
great.
day of Leo, so I barely made it. So.
Nice. Good work.
So happy early birthday. When we are going to release this, it'll be afterwards. So happy belated birthday, depending on when we're watching.
Yeah, thanks so much. Great. Thank you.
You have any big plans?
I was just waiting to get whatever present you guys send me. So I mean, I guess I'm a 40 regular jacket. So whatever. Yeah.
Sarah, actually, you live closer. That's your job.
I live closer. Okay.
So actually, so your fans probably know, or I don't know if we know, but I'm in Vancouver, which is right on the border above Washington State. And my wife, for my birthday, she's like, have your passport available. I'm like, oh. She's like, I'm like, are we flying or driving? She's like, we're driving. I'm like, okay, so we're doing something. I'm going to imagine that it involves the United States of America, because I don't think we can drive to Europe. I don't know. I don't know a lot about geography.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. Yeah.
She's taking you on a road trip down to Texas to see all the sites. So, we'll meet up at some point.
Okay, great. I love it.
You can just stop by Washington and I'll have the present ready.
I'll just put my hand outside of the window and just like high five you as I'm going by.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I have to tell you, so it was my 7-year-old son that came up with the Meany Mounty thing. And when I told him that I had an interview with you, he was so proud of himself. He got so excited. He said, you got an interview with the guy that I created the hashtag for? I said, I sure did, honey. And it was probably partly your doing. He said, oh, that's great, Mom. So
I've always had a problem with 7-year-olds. This is just always good for him. Oh, that's adorable. That's really cute.
Well, and see, the funny thing is how it came about is he was trying to ask me what your character was doing on the show, because he watches with me. And I said, oh, how do I put this in simple terms? And I said, basically, he doesn't like Nathan. He's a mean Mountie. And then I said, oh, that's kind of catchy, Mean Mounty. And then he blurts out, Meany Mounty. I'm like, oh, that's even better. So
Aww. No, well, good for you, Mom, for giving him credit and not taking the credit for yourself.
Oh, no, it was all him.
Wow.
Well,
nice.
So this is an interesting character because you were on a few years ago for a few episodes, and then I believe your character's been mentioned a few times over the years. And then, surprise, we see another appearance. So way back when you first started auditioning, did you know anything? What did you have to go on in the first parts of auditioning or first parts of filming season 8?
Yeah, I mean, you know, a good writing will sort of give you an idea about who the character is and why the character is there. And sometimes they'll give you that information in the breakdown. For some of your listeners who may not know, characters get a breakdown of their character. White male, 40s, a brief description of who he is, maybe a bit of his background or his or her background. And so you have something of that to go on. But then, so a lot of times the character will evolve the longer that you're on a show. But I had an idea that my character was going to, well, just because of part of the script, it was definitely going to be in conflict with Nathan's, with the Nathan character. And so I, My character is in a position of authority, power, a little bit older. I mean, barely older, by the way, because just hold on, shoot me from below. And so I knew that, there's probably some generational stuff there. So I would never play him as a bad guy, but I would definitely play him as someone who, these are the rules. This is like we have to follow the rules, and you're not following the rules. And especially in our profession, and especially, I think back then, turn of the century, the RCMP, I mean, that's like the military practically in Canada. And it's like, you don't follow the rules, that's when people die. And so I definitely would come down hard on him, but just also, like a previous sort of generation being more like, we have to follow the rules. So that was all the sort of the stuff that, I kind of gleaned and made up on my own. And then talking with the director, Peter DeLuise, who I've worked with a bunch of times, he's great. And, we sort of talked a little bit on the phone before I shot my stuff, just, how he saw the character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It always struck us as a power issue. I mean, when Nathan was under him, Andrew that was his first command.
Mm-hmm.
And, Nathan caught the cattle rustlers. Nobody got hurt. So yeah, he disobeyed orders, but we kind of saw Hargreaves as somebody who would take credit for it,
Mm-hmm.
and say, oh, yes, they were arrested. That was totally my call. But instead, you kind of threw us for a loop. You didn't take the credit. You were the no, you didn't follow orders, and you shouldn't have gone and captured those criminals, which, how many of them were there? Because Nathan made all those arrests.
Yeah.
Handedly.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, is he probably felt shown up. So
Mm-hmm.
we were wondering just the feeling behind this horrible dislike for Nathan.
Well, again, I think it comes back to, because you're right, the character could have gone two ways. He could have been a duplicitous character, which is like, oh, you did the wrong thing, but I will take I commanded him to do it. But but they didn't write the character that way. They wrote this character as in a character who follows the rules, and rules are really important in our job. So yes, you may have, caught these perpetrators, these bad guys, but it could have gone horribly different, and people could have died. And so you're being kind of a, a lone wolf type of character, but that's not how that's not how the Mounties work. You follow the orders, you wait for backup, you don't rush in blindly with all this hubris, this all this macho energy, my character's point of view. You wait, we do this by the book. And so that is, because I think that Hargreaves, he sees the potential in Constable Grant. Like, he sees there is, so he doesn't just fire him, he doesn't just get rid of him. There's the tribunal and everything, and he actually listens to him and all of this, and it's just like he sees there's potential there. So yeah, not to give anything away, but some stuff coming up, which definitely that our character is going to have more contact with each other.
Yeah, we have a few theories, but
Yeah.
of course,
I hope they involve time travel. There's going to be so much time travel. There's a DeLorean. Okay, if that's all I'm going to say, that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, Brian Bird's gonna be like, oh, he gave it all away.
He gave it all away.
No more podcast interviews for you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, everybody heard it here first. Okay.
Yeah.
Another interesting part of Hargreaves' background that we've really found interesting from season 8 was his connection to Bill Avery, played by Jack Wagner, being his mentor from the Mounties, that he helped him achieve his rank as superintendent. What do you think his motivation was in terms of, like, Hargreaves asked to use Bill's office for Nathan's inquiry? Was he trying to sway his opinion or just connect with an old friend?
I mean, I think using his office is just, we worked together, all this stuff. I think I'm going to use, I think Hargreaves might have had a little bit of an agenda. I think he had an idea that he was going to try to get rid of Grant, and so sort of using Jack as well. Yeah, I think, you could be right there, a little bit of like swaying him a little bit to get him on my side. Like this kid is he's a loose cannon. He's all over the place. And I think I think that there's conversations behind the scenes that we don't see between these two characters talking about the Grant character. And I don't think we really have to see it. I think, eventually that my character is swayed, when we have the trial, the tribunal there. But yeah, I think using that office was a little bit of like, let's get on my side here. We're of the same age, that, we take this type of job very seriously, and this person over here is just kind of all over the map, and someone's going to get hurt.
Too bad that he took him under his wing. So
yeah. And and so again, I think these characters are constantly evolving, and that's good writing. So it's not always just every time my character shows up, if he's only coming to go after Grant, that can be a little bit of, in one lane. So I think I see this character evolving, and, begrudgingly perhaps seeing this relationship grow, or I'm not necessarily, I don't think becoming a mentor to him, but giving him possibly opportunity to grow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You probably heard all over social media that you are in hot water for interrupting the final kiss of the episode. I mean,
so what I do,
Hearties
baby.
are not thrilled. Yeah, Hearties were not thrilled by that.
Oh, they were mad. I even went, "Oh my gosh, really?"
Oh yeah, no, I was in my brain, my character was watching for like 5 minutes, waiting, Constable Grant. Oh my God, just waiting.
Sarah, that's kind of your theory that he saw them kissing, like, oh well, I didn't get to ruin his career, I'm going to ruin him personally.
Yeah, that's right. Just what a jerk, huh? What a complete jerk. Yeah, but that's and that's great. So you're setting the audience up for here.
Yeah.
Will they? Won't they? Will they? Won't they? Yeah.
So the last couple seconds, and I had the captions on, and it was like footsteps approaching, and I'm like, no.
Are those hoof prints or footprints? Yeah.
Lucky for you, very lucky for you, there were 5 others. There were 5 other kisses in the episode. So very lucky for you.
Yeah. Right. Good. I dodged a bullet there. Good.
Yes, you did. So about the hearing, Hargreaves was standing there with the paper in hand, about to read his findings, when Nathan's niece, who is now his adopted daughter, barges in, gives her heartfelt plea, and then he changes his mind. So we are really curious about what you think was going through Andrew's mind and what happened later. Did he feel pressured, manipulated to change that and not take any further action? And then later he regretted that, and he said, oh, he didn't answer for what he did, so now he's coming back again to make trouble? Or do you think, what's your...
I think that, yeah, I think that, again, I think he sees potential in Grant. He sees that he could be a good, if not great, Mountie. And so, being a little bit on the fence, having this tribunal and everything that happened, and then with her coming in, it's like, maybe I'll give it, like, we're going to give him another chance. Like, we don't, it's tough to become a Mountie. Like, you have to go through all the steps and the stuff. And, Grant got there because he is good at what he does. He might be a little emotional at times and going left when he should be going right. But it's like, I see potential there. And it's just, it's not so simple as just like, well, we're fired because there's 100 other men ready to step into these shoes. It's not
That's
the way
true.
it's not the way it works.
Right.
It's like, it's almost like a diamond in the rough. It's like, what do I do? Is there potential for me to teach, to lead, with, sometimes with the carrot, sometimes with the stick? How do I get this person across the finish line? Because I think that Hargreaves is really proud of the work that he does for the country and the community. And it's like, okay, I think I see potential. Could be wrong, not sure. And I think Hargreaves is using more stick than carrot. And he may have to go find a bigger stick. But yeah, I think her coming in, I think I was like, 49.50, and she pushed it over to the other side, or 49.50. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he was a little bit on the fence. It wasn't 60-40, let's put it that way. It was close. And then she came in, and so obviously I see, what she meant to him. It's like, okay, that opens up a door maybe to him that I'd never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Whew.
Well, so throughout season 11, there was a lot of speculation coming up about Hargreaves because his name would come up during the Clayton Pike arrest and everything with Governor Bouchard's shooting. He had put a stop to some continued
he killed the investigation.
He killed the investigation once they had the suspect. A lot of people were saying that he could be involved in the cover-up. Were you hearing any of this chatter online?
A little bit, yeah. I heard some of that. I will say that it's for myself, David, I wasn't getting any information about that from headquarters, without, getting myself in trouble here. So, sometimes it's just, sometimes it's up to the actor to, fill in the backstory for the character. The writers don't give you everything all the time. And your character has different relationships with all these people, and a good actor, as I point to myself, that was weird, a fantastic actor, will fill all of those pieces in, because, the writers don't have time to go, okay, so this character here's 11 pages of backstory that you and Jack had, or you and like, they're not, that's not their job. Their job is to move the story forward. They might give you some nuggets like, well, you met, we've decided that you met him in training camp, or you met, you met him in another town in northern BC or whatever. So, yeah, some of this stuff is it's up to the actor to go, well, right now I'm playing my character that he's pretty by the book, that he doesn't have an agenda, but I'm an actor, so my job is to lie. So that's
well, and
all.
the writing can change over time too, and
Of course
especially
it can.
coming in at the end of a season when the next season hasn't been fully written yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes
course.
you have to kind of play that line, so
Absolutely.
it can go either way.
That is 100%. They don't know what's gonna. I mean, they have a basic idea of where they want to take the characters for the next season, but they haven't really done the writing yet. So they could get in the writing room and be like, okay, here's where we want to go with this character, and then go, you know what, that's not working. It just feels like there's not enough conflict there, or we want to bring in another character to push them this way because they've been going this way for so long. That's what's exciting. Right. So yeah, the trick is, I think, when you're ending a season, is to not paint yourself into a corner where you're like, oh no, we've done this and we thought so you kind of leave it open-ended, to keep the fan interest, to keep everyone engaged, but also not so much where it's like, well, we have to go down this road because we've given the fans all this information. So we leave it very open-ended at the end of the season, right?
Yeah. Oh, you definitely leave it open-ended. It's a mystery why he's in town. We're bringing up Jack Thornton again, but I have to say that with all of your talk of Hargreaves being by the book, if it does turn out that he's taking bribes, or that he was turning a blind eye to Casimir Shaw doing the rum running because Pike said, not even the Mounties can protect me. And so we wondered, is a Mountie in Casimir Shaw's pocket? And so all of your by the book talk will turn out to be very ironic if that turns out to be what happens.
Just a guy sitting here drinking his morning coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see those eyes.
Well, on another note, you have been in so many Hallmark movie projects. I counted 20 others besides When Calls the Heart. Slight majority being mysteries, which happen to be my favorite.
Yeah, they're fun.
Probably because I've seen the Murder, She Baked movie on repeat many times. That's one of my favorite mysteries of all of them. But you play suspicious very well. Whenever I see you come into a mystery, I'm always like,
That's the red hair. Oh my gosh, there's a ginger. Oh, something bad's gonna happen.
Oh, you played a pretty compelling character in the Murder, She Baked movies. Yeah. So anytime I see you come up, I'm always like, oh, is it gonna turn out the same way? Is it gonna be a little different? They're really good at doing the red herrings as well. So leading us in one direction.
Yeah. If he doesn't die and he's not the murderer, he's definitely going to be the suspect.
Yeah. Right. Do you enjoy doing like those mysterious roles more than just the average, like everyday romance storyline? Or
I mean, yeah. So I think that at the beginning of my career, I was, I played a lot of, kind of the nerdy computer tech and like nice guy next door and the guy that doesn't get the girl, but he's the ex-boyfriend who's like kind of okay with it, which is very odd. Oh, it's okay that you're leaving me for the handsome guy. The heck? That's okay. It's paid for my mortgage. So then sort of, in sort of the last sort of 20 years or so of my career, I've definitely started playing more, maybe white collar criminals, characters who on the outside appear to be good, upstanding citizens, but inside have a duplicitous side that's, a dark side, all of that sort of stuff. I mean, I think probably most actors would say that those are the fun characters to play. Look, anytime you're working as an actor in this industry is amazing. Yeah. And I've been very fortunate to have a bit of a career. So, but playing those characters is really fun because they end up sort of being two ends of the spectrum where you're just, because you never want to give away to the audience that you have anything other than, your purest intentions in every scene. And then you get to have that moment where the page turns and we find out that your character is, has an ulterior motive. And then inevitably, hopefully, you get to the point where you're cornered and your character is kind of like going off the rails and everything. So you get to play these, maybe 2 or 3 levels to this character where, a lot of times the hero of the show is kind of not, I don't want to say one note, but they don't have as much of an arc because the audience expects them to be a certain way. I mean, unless you're playing like anti-heroes and all that sort of stuff, but that doesn't sort of happen so much in Hallmarks. I mean, they kind of like their heroes, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a great character to play. Yeah, but they're kind of their journey isn't as much. They're trying to figure it out. They're probably working with maybe a female character that they're flirting with, or there's some tension going on between them, and then they end up catching the bad guy. But so for playing those characters in mystery movies, I think it's great. I think it's so much fun. Yeah, I did a lot of those actually. Yeah.
Yeah. We were going over it like,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you had to pick, what would you say is your favorite Hallmark mystery, Hallmark Christmas movie, and then Hallmark regular movie that you have been in?
So as far as the mystery, I really enjoyed morning show Mysteries, where I played this
Yes.
character, Lance Tuttle, who was just so over the top, had such a giant ego, such a blowhard. And they really, so on that show, I think we did like 6 or 7 of those movies with the lovely Holly Robinson Pete. Such a huge fan of hers. She's so lovely. Hollywood royalty. Been around forever. But not that, I don't mean she's old. Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay, that was close. The 20 years she's been around, she's been amazing. So with that character, I was fortunate that sort of as the episodes went along, I would sort of add little bits, improv a little bit of this, or just play him a certain way. And then the writers started to write that character that way, depending on what I did. So, he really started to look down his nose more at everyone that he worked with. He just thought that he was the biggest deal. So I really liked that character a lot. I sort of, this will be sort of maybe for your a little bit older audience. I sort of fashioned him after a character called Ted Baxter, who was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He was all up here, and he was the newscaster on the show. And he was actually kind of a bit of a Dumbo, but he thought he was the smartest person in the room, which those are always fun characters to play.
Yeah.
The characters that think they're the smartest person in the room, but they're not. So that was great. My favorite Christmas movie, I think I'd have to say, was oh gosh, it was with Candace Cameron Bure, and it was a Christmas road trip.
Detour.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was such a fun movie to do. I will say it was hot. We were filming in July in Chicago in the wintertime, and it was 94 degrees, and we were all in parkas, and they had fake snow blowing at us, and it's like cut, and we're all just like ripping our clothes off, and they're coming in with fans. The sweat is like literally dripping down our faces. Yeah. So that was one. Although I've got a Christmas movie coming up that I think is going to be so much fun. I'm not going to give anything away about it, but it might be my new favorite. Yeah. I think it's going to be really, really fun. I'm not going to say anything else other than that, but obviously we'll see.
We'll watch for it. Yeah.
And then, sort of my favorite, just sort of Hallmark movie. The garage sale mysteries were fun, and part of that was like, again, I played a bad guy. But I got to work with Peter DeLuise, who's one of my favorite people in this industry. He's Hollywood royalty. His father, Dom DeLuise, back in the day, and Johnny Carson and Burt Reynolds and all that sort of stuff. So I really love Peter a lot, and so getting to work with him was really fun. And so that was, it was just great. I've been working with him for 25 years now, probably maybe even more than that. So that was, so that was just, anytime I get to work with him, it's always fun.
Well, it's a mystery, but that's an acceptable answer. So we'll let it.
I know. I was trying to think of I've done so many mysteries in Christmas. I'm just trying to think of a straight Hallmark. Do you have any ideas?
Stop the Wedding.
Stop the Wedding. Love on the Air was really good.
Love on the Air with the lovely Chris. Oh, wait a second. Okay, I'm going to retract.
Edge of the Garden was amazing.
Oh, Edge of the Garden is a fantastic film. Oh, I got to play such a great character in that.
Oh, he had depth. Yeah.
That was such a fun. Okay, let me tell you a really quick little story about Stop the Wedding. Please. My character had this really great wardrobe.
Ooh.
Burgundy suits and a nice teal, really, really fun wardrobe.
Yeah.
And what happens a lot of times is on these standalone movies, production will sell you your wardrobe at 50% off. So I got 3 suits and I think 2 or 3 dress shirts. I think I got it for $180. It was such a great deal. It was probably $600 worth of stuff. And on my last day, we were filming an airport scene, but they were filming it in the front of a casino, just the way that the casino was set up. It looked like the opening to an airport. And so I got wrapped out. Hey, David Lewis, thanks so much. And I went and I had cash and I went and I paid for my wardrobe and it was great. And I put it in the car and I go to my car and I'm like, huh, whatever. I'm going to give it a shot. I had $20. I went into the casino and I went to the blackjack table and I played 11 hands. I won 10 of them and I paid for my suits in about 6 minutes because I got wrapped at like 1 in the afternoon. I went to the casino. There was nobody there. It was 1 in the afternoon. It's not a summer day. No one's going to the casino, but they were open. And I just kept on winning and winning and winning. And I was like, and then suddenly I had like $180 in my hand. I'm like, okay, I think I should just leave. Is this legal what I just did? Yeah, it was great. It was great. It was so much. And I still have the suits. They're beautiful suits.
Oh,
I just
awesome.
love that store. It's like, oh my gosh, I just got it for free.
Oh,
That's
man.
so cool.
Oh,
Well,
that's
really fast. What we like to do, what we like to end with some of our mystery guests on the podcast is a really fast kind of rapid fire questions on your preferences for types of mysteries.
Ooh.
And we call it Mystery Teen Beat.
Yes, get your hat.
Oh,
I have my mystery hat.
Sherlock, sure.
And it fits because number one, you've been in so many mysteries, and number two, the reason why you're in Hope Valley is quite the mystery right now. It's driving fans crazy.
So, real quick, just tell us your first impressions. And this is for you, not your character. This is your personal preferences. Do you prefer a contemporary mystery or a period piece?
Contemporary.
Oh, okay. Perry Mason or Sherlock Holmes?
Sherlock Holmes.
If you were going to be cast in a mystery, would you prefer to play the murderer or the lead detective?
I prefer to play the lead detective only, even just what I just said a minute ago. I haven't played the lead detective in like so long. I'm always a murderer. Oh.
That would be cool.
Okay. What's your favorite mystery setting? City, country, mansion, forest?
Love a good mansion. Hidden catacombs and doorways and paintings that slide open or bookcases and then you go down. Right? Yeah, love that.
Agatha Christie or Sir Arthur Conan Doyle?
I'm sorry, I gotta go Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Just love me some Sherlock. Yeah.
So you said you wanted to play the detective. So if you were in a mystery portraying the detective and you got to cast people, who would be your victim? Who would be your murderer? And who would be your Watson?
Oh, great. I think I would want my Watson. I definitely want my Watson to be female. I think I'd love to play the lead detective that is not as smart as he thinks he is. And Watson is kind of like leading me on my journey. And not playing it for comedy. It's just kind of subtly there. I would say Lisa DeRue, who I've worked with before. Yes. I think she'd be a great Watson. Okay. Murderer, I would say Steve Basic.
Oh, yes.
And then my victim, let's go with oh gosh, let me just say Captain Smith.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Too handsome. The victim. That's a new one.
Two handsome guys. Oh yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure my Watson would be like, oh, I'll investigate these guys all day long. Yeah.
Oh, David, thank you so much for coming on today. We have really, really enjoyed having you. So is there social media that you would like to share so we can keep track of you and watch for that Christmas movie?
Yeah, David James Lewis, David J. Lewis 11. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. Like my stuff is all open. Come and join me. I post pictures and dumb videos. And when I might have posted a couple of things from this Christmas movie that I'm going to be. Maybe that happened a couple weeks ago. You never know. I'm not saying anything about anything. But yeah, come follow me. That's great. Thank you. Big love to the Hearties out there that all of you humans keep this show moving forward. I think it's a great show. I think these characters are so interesting. Gosh, it's been around I'm going into season 12 now.
Yep.
It's great. And it's because, the show doesn't survive without the fans. Like that's what keeps it going. And I think this whole thing started off, wasn't just going to be like a movie, and then
Yeah.
then it just
Yeah.
like, it just grew and everyone loved it. And it's like, yeah. And all the people that work on the show, they're all really nice people. They're all really like, I know so many of these actors from Vancouver. They're all really, really nice people.
Yeah.
So even
Yeah,
the ones
we've
that are playing
interviewed
bad people.
several of them, and we love them.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Hearties, we hope that this has been as much fun and as entertaining for you as it has been for us. So watch for David as he plays in A Christmas Movie, and then keep your eye out for Meany Mounty. Bye, everybody.
Bye.